My first big life test as a young adult, I was this close to failing. I was in Orlando, Florida, doing Navy boot camp, and the physical demands on my body were taking a huge toll. So much so that my knees swelled up to like the size of softballs. I was literally in so much pain that they had me on medication to deal with the pain and to reduce the swelling. Now, something that most people are not aware of as far as military accession is concerned and initial training is they use that as a way to weed you out. And effectively, I could have been weeded out from the Navy fairly quickly because my body just wasn't able to take the physical aspect of boot camp. Now, academically, I was doing great. I was learning all the Navy history, all the meaningful terms as far as being on board a ship, basic seamanship, anything that didn't require me marching, carrying a rifle, and doing push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, and running. All that stuff. Yeah, that just wasn't me. And it still isn't to an extent, but it is. I'm not getting into those details. I will say this. The opportunity to quit did present itself. And rather than fail myself, I decided to push through, so much so that I just took a 2-week delay. In fact, I would have been moved back had I stayed another week in the medical company, which is where they put you when you're dealing with medical issues. If I had been there a third week, I would have been pushed back at least another 2 weeks to another company that was going through the boot camp training pipeline. As a leader, I think there's an opportunity to quit almost daily, especially when things get too tough, things get too demanding. It just becomes a question of, do you have the intestinal fortitude to push on through to make it happen? And I'm not saying that there aren't some times where you look at it, you assess it, and you go, you know what? The cost is too high. I really do need to quit. This is going to cost me my family. This is going to cost me my health. It already is costing me my health. The cost is too high. But you've got to be able to discern if that's the right call. And oftentimes it means that you rely on people on the outside looking in as your closest confidants to give you the benefit of their wisdom and an outsider's view. Because you don't want to quit just for the sake of quitting. You want to quit because there is something inherently unhealthy and too expensive a price for you to pay.